of today. Think of all that you've been missing. Prescription made painkillers.
What does mental health mean to you?
Mental health is
Take your time, you're good.
Mental health is just the state that your brain is in.
Mm-hmm.
And it differs from physical health in that it's harder to understand and it's harder to diagnose.
Mm-hmm.
So your mental health can be good, it can be bad, just like your physical health. And everybody should be monitoring their own mental health just as they monitor their own physical health.
Say I'm getting married on a porch in Vegas. We can get hitched and have a couple of kids.
I don't know if I think I'm brave doing this or if I'm just incredibly stupid to be giving strangers a look into my fucked up brain. The only thing I know for sure is that I'm very, very scared. It's hard. Mental health is really hard. I've been trying to be more open about it because I think that that's a healthier outlook. But I've learned that when you share those parts of yourself with someone else and share the things that you're struggling with, sometimes people can look at you and treat you differently. And I think that's where a lot of the fear comes from. I think a lot more people struggle with mental health than we know. People are afraid to see a doctor. They don't want to share. They're ashamed of it. I know I was for my whole life until maybe 6 months ago when I started seeing a therapist. I think I realized at that first appointment that this isn't something that can be fixed overnight. I can't just take a pill and be cured. I can't just have a surgery on my brain and be fixed. It takes a lifetime. It takes fighting your whole life. Living is fucking hard. It's so difficult. And dying is so much easier. But all of the most worthwhile things are hard. Another thing I've learned over these past 6 months is that having a support system is extremely important. And sometimes that's your family, sometimes it isn't. We can relate to each other and share with each other without fear of judgment or fear of being treated differently, being treated as crazy or less than or damaged. And that is so meaningful. Sometimes I feel like a ticking time bomb. Like any moment I could just explode. and be gone forever. It's a scary thought. It's a really scary thought. With so many things going on in your head, no one knows that you're suffering. And this is really hard for me even to understand. And I think that seeing a therapist has helped and meds have helped. There's just so much I want to do in my life. I don't want it to end so quickly. There's so much I want to do. Some days I just think to myself, I could get in my car and just go anywhere, do anything. Sure, there's consequences, maybe I'll be poor, maybe I'll have to live out of my car for a while. My parents might freak out, but it's such a comforting feeling to know, I have so much control over my own life and decisions that I could throw it all away at any moment and start over. It's kind of freeing. And it does get better. It's interesting because my therapist always says it gets worse before it gets better. And it's so true. It's like I've dug this deep hole my whole life where I've buried all of these things over and over and over and over. So I have all these holes in myself, all of these pieces that are missing or are damaged or are hurting. And my therapist is uncovering these holes that are filled with everything that I've shoved down. And she's pulling all of it out and saying, look at this. This is what you've done to yourself. This is what you need to work on. And it hurts. It's dredging up all these dark things in my head. And it makes you so discouraged. It makes you so sad and angry and upset. But at the same time, if you don't do that, they'll just stay buried forever and you'll just keep adding to it. You'll just keep digging more holes and making yourself more hurt. But once you uncover all of these things that you've tried not to think about, once you look at them, you can work on them and you can help yourself. You can find the desire to live. You can find the desire to be yourself, to stop trying to be this ideal version of yourself that will never really exist or will never really ever be enough.
I remember in the hospital, I had an image of driving around in a camper van with a golden retriever, listening to nice America-esque California rock in my hippie van, and that's just that would be the peaceful kind of ideal, and that's the thing. It's okay, if I really decided to, that's something I could do, and that kind of keeps me going to an extent.
For so long I had no idea, no hope for the future, no thought, there was no way I was gonna be alive in 2019, in 2022, in 2016, and so it's really it's almost having faith, which is something that I don't normally think about because I'm not a religious person, but just having faith that it will end and I'll be okay.